Yeah, it's Gato, and welcome to part two of things that you will need to make your wrestling gear. I covered primarily things relating to the sewing machine, regards to things that you need. Now I'm going to get into more of the few tools, the essential tools that you are going to need with regards to making your professional wrestling gear. I'm gonna cover like what I believe are the bare essentials are. There's gonna be a couple of things that are gonna be things that if you end up making more, it's worth getting. But I'm gonna cover some of the bare essentials that you are going to need. And first thing, scissors. And the big thing I want to mention about scissors is look for fabric scissors. Do not buy whatever scissors from Walmart or Canadian Tire and expect to get the sharpness that you need to be cutting fabric. Look for fabric scissors. And the thing about fabric scissors is they can get expensive. They can be go up to $40 and over. Like I say, look for sales. Shop around because you might get it down to $20. If you get down to $20, pick them up. It is worth picking. It's not worth having the headaches of shitty scissors. I have big scissors, little scissors, and other cutting tools that I have is this is if you make a piece of gear and you like what you're doing, you are enjoying it, this is something that is an essential. Cutting wheel. It'll make a lot of your cutting go so much faster if you get one of these. The scissors, I believe, is a lot more essential, especially when you're first starting out. If you want to make more, get one of these. And if you're getting one of these cutting wheels, you should also get a cutting mat. Uh, there's different sizes of mats that you can get. I went for the biggest one that I could get because I like having a big area to work with. So it all depends on if you're making a pair of if you're primarily going to be making trunks, you can just get a smaller mat that's okay. But because I do make a lot of tights, I prefer to have as big a space as I can. So that's that. And if you are getting into working with vinyl materials, like if you're working with mask making or you're using vinyl for making gauntlets, one of these, get a art knife or a craft knife. I use this Fiskars, kind of like your finger kind of goes through it, and you can control knife with your finger like that. This is to me a very essential tool, but it's not something that you need to get right away. The scissors, critical thing. Another critical thing, this is probably the one of the more tools that I use most often, and especially when you first start out, is a seam ripper. A seam ripper is exactly, it's the name says it all, and you are going to make lots and lots and lots of mistakes, and this is the thing that's going to correct your mistakes. I have ripped apart like the seams, the full seams of tights to redo them again. This thing is a bare essential. There is, you can't get away without having one of these. So this is a very critical thing. Uh, so in a coming not episode, video, I'm going to talk about patterns and working with patterns. And when I say patterns, I don't mean like the pattern of a fabric pattern, but sewing patterns, the panels that come together to form your piece. When you're working with this, is working with a couple of different paper that I use in regards to doing my drafting for my patterns and my any pleats I do. I have two types of paper that I use. I use a trace paper, which I believe you can get from like office supplies or whatever, but I get it from Amazon. I get it by the roll because I use a lot of this stuff. I think you can get it in sheets as well if you are going to be going through a lot of this stuff. If you are, I would buy a roll. You will save money by doing that. I'm going to be using some of this stuff in video, so I will be giving some demonstrations on that. So that's when I have to do some artwork or do some appliques. This is the stuff I use. For patterns for building my gear, I actually use this wax paper, is parchment paper that actually gets used for underlaying for flooring. This stuff I actually get from, I think I got it from Home Depot's. If you look in the flooring section, you will find this. This is a lot stronger than trace paper. You can't really trace with it, so it's trace paper has its purpose. But this, like all my trunks patterns, all my tights patterns, I draw it all on this. This is a little more. It can rip, but it's a little more durable. It's all my permanent patterns I do draw on this stuff here. Like I said, when I get into more videos working with this stuff, you'll have a better idea of how I use that. Another very basic sewing thing that's going to be essential: pins. Uh, if you can find a better pin cushion, go for it, because I can never find one I like. But yeah, this is a something you can't do anything without pins. So I believe I'm gonna leave it at that. Oh, one more thing is, so when we talk about patterns, I'll also be talking about putting those patterns onto fabric so you can cut your panels out. So you're going to need things to mark your fabric up. What I use primarily, and you'll see me use like Sharpies and other markers, but primarily what I use on lighter fabrics, I use this fabric pen. I think I got it for like $7 or so. This will wash out when you wash your gear after you're done. So the blue will not last. For darker materials, I actually use a chalk wheel. This will leave if you draw it along, this will leave a chalk line, just like that. Not something, I didn't have any dark thing to use at the time, so, but yeah, that's what it does. So you can actually mark on dark material using one of these. This one I got it on sale for $10. Is by Prime. It's a good little wheel. I like it. But that's where I'm going to end off. So, my next video, I'm going to be talking about patterns. I'll likely, what I'll do, I will start off with making a pair of trunks. And, yeah, we can go on from there and make some fun stuff. Alright, so thank you for joining me. Meow.